side by side? Oh,
Not on mine. We're topping. Oh, now we're side by side. Okay, cool.
okay.
I'm ready to talk about this. Here's the thing. Here's what I will say. Oh no, where are my notes?
No, like you need notes for the 24 minutes. I just did review because I just watched it today and I was still like, what songs did they sing beside Rudolph? I forget.
Okay. Here's what I will say. I know that this was I don't know if this was my choice or if this was just hey, here's
it's
some
a Christmas.
things,
Yeah, it's Christmas time.
I apologized to you and our listeners for Dune. I'm not one to ask for apologies, but I knew this movie or this TV show.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. I knew everything we were in store for. And at the end of last episode, you started talking about Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah, and you never corrected.
And I was like, this might not be what I think it is. I'm so excited now. And I watched it and I went, no, I knew what this was and it's horrible.
I must have missed it. There is another silly, I think, adult themed claymation special out there that had
a bunch of these.
I remember watching. I think I remember having it, like we recorded it from the TV on VHS. I know that like Ronald Reagan was in it. Andrew, I think obviously it was adult themed. And so when you said Claymation Christmas, I was like, oh, must be this filthy show. Because why would we cover just a true children's
that's
what it is.
For some weird dice. Clay. His name is
sorry.
Clay.
Like, yeah. I know. Exactly. I'm sorry I led you astray. I'm sorry I led myself astray because afterwards I was like when it wrapped up, I was like, well, where's Ronnie Reagan and Andrew Dice Clay?
The moment these dinosaurs, which have nothing to do with Christmas, show up, I was like, oh no, this is what I thought it was.
And it is.
And there were not all this. I didn't remember all the songs. I mean, there's songs you've heard 1,000 times before, but I didn't remember all the Claymation skits. But the moment those things started singing about waffles, I was like, oh, I remember all of this. And I did the laziest amount of research on this, and it premiered alongside of Garfield Christmas, which we did, which is such a great one.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no wonder I watched this. But to remember it to the degree that I did, I must have seen it multiple times.
Yeah. Well, now, did you watch it with your kids?
No.
Well,
I should have, but they probably would have been bored stupid.
Well, I don't know. There was part of me that was like as far as the podcast goes, like this is really goofy for our podcast. But when I looked at it, I'm like, but I think I do remember seeing it as a kid, and I remember it like because that's what this sort of animation even did. Then it like sparked the creativity in you, you know? Yeah. And I remember as a kid looking at my decorations on my tree different because there's that one song where the kids are decorating and they keep going into all the decorations. Yeah. And like wanting my mom to get us Play-Doh and clay, which we were never allowed to have because it was so messy. And like I could really produce these kinds of.
You were never allowed to have Play-Doh because it's messy?
Well, we didn't have it a lot. We had it, but not like often.
Slime, which is big with kids now.
Yes.
That's terrible stuff. But
it's terrible.
Play-Doh's easy to pick up. You take a bigger clump of Play-Doh and you mush it onto the smaller.
That's how you pick it up. Look at this. Lessons learned. See?
There are parts of this, like you said, it's just people showing off Claymation. Like it's just like, look what we can do. Like
except that one, that Joy to the World one, the kaleidoscopy one, that was like so trippy.
The one where the song had to be so slow, so that they could show the clay. Like there were times where there was just empty space in the music, nobody singing. Yeah. Like, well, there should be lyrics here, and times where they repeated lyrics so that there was
that they could get through what they were doing. Yeah,
yeah. And how was what was that? That's not done with clay, right?
No, I think that's just
sand art, but. I don't know if that's right either.
I don't think that's right, but
I don't know. A kaleidoscope of colors.
It really was. I mean, it was visually, it was fun.
Was
you didn't think so? I mean, again,
But
take
there's
yourself
something
back to 19, what was this, 87?
87.
Okay. So
Yeah,
yeah,
there's something nostalgic about it. I
yes.
wouldn't say that it was fun. The moment I saw the claymation dinosaurs, I was like, well, everything's gonna look like crap like these guys
Well,
do.
you didn't
It's
like,
kind
what
of
were their
cute.
names? Herb and Rex?
Nope, I did not like
Nope.
Herb or
Herb
Rex.
and Rex?
Don't know who was who either. And one sounds like Thurston Howell the Third from Gilligan's Island.
Yes. That was Rex. That was Rex.
Oh, that was Rex.
Yeah.
Okay. What
And
was the other
Herb
one's name?
was
Herb.
Herb.
Of course, Herb's
Yeah.
the idiot.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. He was like the drunken, silly one.
The
Yeah.
drunken silly
Well,
one?
at the end, he was all like with the fat belly and
Yeah,
drinking the beer that the Irish claymation things brought.
there were leprechauns at the end of this.
Because that's who says wassail or
The moment they came over, like,
wassailing.
oh, ta ta ta, yes. I was like, what is happening right now? Like even the pigs didn't make sense because they were in a bunch of fruit, which I guess pigs eat fruit, but I
They
expect
do.
it to be mud. But everything
Yeah.
seemed to be consumable. That was the big thing about that is, well, wait, no, the ducks were just waddling. They didn't have
Yeah.
food.
No.
Hmm.
Because they waddled, because they were trying to figure out that whole wassailing thing. Wassailing.
I
Wassel.
I did
Wassailing.
not enjoy this. I did not enjoy this.
Not at all.
And it's
Not at all.
24 minutes. Like
Yeah, it was breezy. It was
it's
so,
super.
yeah.
It's just songs. It's just
Yeah,
songs.
it's literally with these little dinosaurs introducing the songs, little skits by these two dinosaurs that kind of
Yeah.
lead you into these songs.
But
Um,
but it's nothing more than songs.
no, no, no. And
Right.
it's
I
not
have to turn
even
my
like,
heat off again. Am I going to
oh,
go all winter long forgetting about the heat?
I mean, at least you'll be a little toasty when you start. All right, go turn that heat off.
I'm
Go
in the
for it.
basement. It's cold all the time.
I'm checking my notes just to make sure I don't forget anything super titular. Nope. I don't think I forgot any of this. Got my list of songs. We're in the show. Claymation Christmas. Here we go. I don't think he can edit this. I don't have anything fun. Just me. Here I am. Chap lips. Runny nose.
The visual excitement that our patrons finally get.
I did nothing
An
exciting.
empty chair. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I did.
You didn't
And
tell a story about.
No, I weaved no tales. I just sort of
Okay.
sat. Yeah.
You don't
Sorry.
need to. Who cares? This is so boring. This claymation Christmas celebration. First of all, I had to do a little bit of California raisins research
Oh, because
because I cared enough to do it. I
you wanted
guess.
to know. You wanted a little background on them. So this is not their premiere, right? No, they were made famous from. They were made famous from an actual
raisins,
commercial,
sun-made
right?
raisins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then they eventually became so big they did commercials for Post Raisin Bran. Like a whole different company was like,
Because anywhere
oh, yeah,
raisins.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that I found so baffling. In 2 years of being the California Raisins, they released 4 studio albums.
Albums?
Yeah, and it's all just
Wow.
covers. Like, could you imagine buying a California Raisins album, which is just covers of, I guess, old doo-wop and Motown songs?
Who has their collection? Who has their 4-album collection? I want to know.
I can't see those things surviving beyond 1993. Like, when people start to flush out the CDs and they start to go through and they're
Yeah.
like, well, what do I want to keep? Or what do I want to would make digital now. I don't think anyone kept
There's
these.
in some Goodwill somewhere or some like vintage
Oh,
record store somewhere. There's the whole collection just waiting to be found. I remember
now I kind
people,
of got to try and find it.
yeah, I know you want to check out the
Yeah.
eBay. You would wear those full costumes and the white gloves, and it was something. The California raisins, they
When you
were
say you used to do that, are you talking about
I
you?
I didn't know, but
Oh,
I
okay.
remember people that I feel like in my dance school, or maybe not, there was somewhere that like, or
Oh,
maybe my parents took us to something where it was like their performance. Because
all
I
my yeah,
remember
all my kids
humans
do
in
enough
like,
dance to
yes.
for me to realize. I'm sure my daughter is dancing to the Mission Impossible theme song, and she wears like a suit with a tie and dark glasses and everything. It's like a tap dance.
I bet that's adorable
I'm
though.
sure I haven't
Dun,
seen
dun,
it
dun,
yet.
dun, 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 dun.
Right.
Flat ball change, flat ball change. I love it.
Although I would find it shocking and just in the cumbersome area of dancers like putting on a full California raisins
Well,
thing
you
to
gotta really
dance.
work your arm and legs movements there
You don't
because
think
you
they just
got
put on giant white gloves and painted themselves purple?
no, it was a full like over the body, like a sack, like a
What a
raisin sack.
weird time to just be like, yeah, this is what's popular now.
It's what we're into. It's
Yeah,
what we're into. And like you said, albums going out, kids probably, I'm assuming that it was kids that were into the albums and parents that bought the albums for the kids and maybe enjoyed them for the
yeah.
nostalgic of the cover songs. But
I mean, they headline this
oh
TV
yeah.
special. I mean, you
Yeah.
have to wait to the end of all of this to see a raisin, and at the end when they're
Just even
all
see a
like
raisin.
running around in the same thing, they bring everybody in for like the
Yeah,
fun's
yeah.
like the
When
end
it's
of
like
Saturday
the
Night Live.
finale. Yeah,
It
yeah.
took me forever to see a California raisin to the point where in my stupid brain I was like, so the raisins were too big to come out at the end of this?
Yeah,
Like, it
they
took
had probably had
so long.
another gig. They couldn't be there for it.
And how many California raisins are there? I was trying to count, and
5?
oh, I thought there were way more than
4.
five. I thought there were
Oh,
way more than that. And then at the end, you see them like, I don't know, flying through space.
yeah, they make their
And
own.
there's like five or six, something like that.
Yeah,
But just the
yeah.
way it was shot, I was like, well, the one guy has a big nose, but none of the other ones had personality traits or visual indicators as to who
These
was
fucking
who.
raisins. These raisins not being clear about who's who. They don't call each other by name.
No,
Ted,
they all have
Joe, we don't
names.
know.
I didn't write it down, but they all have names.
Oh, they do all have
Yeah.
names.
Yeah, and they
Oh.
had a cartoon special that lasted one season.
Well, again, they didn't. I'm assuming the storyline was as thick as the storyline in this. Like it
Right,
was
yeah.
probably just about them singing little tunes and how did
It
they get to the next
it
song.
was interesting to sort of look up their animated special because I kind of looked
Mm,
for episodes of it because I was like, well, I don't know, this could be interesting or super stupid. In every single thing, it said there were 19 episodes of this, but when you look through the cast, it had the people who lent their voices, and after
mm.
everyone, it said one episode. So I don't know if it's like they wrote 19 but only made one, and it was a colossal failure. I wasn't sure. IMDb wasn't helping me much with that.
Huh. Well, I said, like you said, the whole idea that for a while animated raisins were a hit thing is, I mean, like I can even get behind Ninja Turtles that live underground and some of
Sure.
the My Little Ponies, the Care Bears, but the singing raisins
Right,
are a
because
whole
there's
different
right,
like
there's personalities. You put
yeah,
different pictures on a horse's butt, and you're like, I don't know, this one likes sunshine, and this one
right,
likes rainbows, and
right.
oh
This
look,
one
these
likes
ones have
apple
these
blossoms.
these whatever the hell those are. This one has wings; it can fly.
Yeah,
Like that's fun. These guys just sound the same and sing cover
they
songs.
sing. They sing. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, you know what? Good for, and I wrote his name down. Good for Will. What's his name?
Oh, the
Will
director.
Vinton.
Yes, he won an award. People loved this when it first came out, right?
Yep, people were really stupid.
Yeah, well, simpler times, one might say. Simpler
I
times.
guess so. I mean, listen, if they're here's what I will say. If they're gonna put this on TV, and it's after Garfield Christmas, kids are gonna watch this. It doesn't matter what it is.
And I think I do also remember watching it and thinking like what they do, how like I'm sure the commercials were like, and
Yeah.
tonight the California raisins. And I think throughout the whole like watching it, I can envision my kid stuff. Like I said, I remembered a totally different claymation. Maybe that was in my head, that claymation Christmas with Andrew Dice Clay
I
and Ronald
watched
Reagan. I
that.
don't think so, but I had a whole different thing. I remembered it. But when I saw this, I was like, oh yeah. And I remembered it sparking this little, just, that little creative kid in me.
What I
Some
really
of it.
what I really enjoyed about this special is it reinforced something that I was taught in college and something that I
Mm.
bring to my job now,
Oh, what's that?
which is you want to take your two best things and you want to bookend whatever it is. If you're showing a portfolio, you want to show your best piece first and your second best piece last or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of enjoyed the We Three Kings or whatever they started with the
Oh,
guys
okay.
singing and the camels,
Uh-huh.
and then you ended with the California Raisins. Everything in the middle, I when that bells thing started, I was like, this is terrible. This is the
Oh, the
worst.
bells thing. I was like, oh, clever. Because it's the bells song and we have the bells.
Okay,
What I wasn't into was the ice skating. What were they? Hippopotamuses? Were they?
they were walruses.
Walruses.
Hippopotamuses do not live on a pole. I don't even know which pole. Let's say the North Pole. I don't know, but I know that
Yeah.
hippos don't live there. No,
That
that's
ice skating
terrible.
thing I was not
Yeah.
into. That was just silly and
Well,
yeah.
it was just walruses basically abusing penguins, and at the end, the
Yeah.
penguins attempting to murder these walruses
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
rolling a giant snowball and trying to trap them underwater.
Yeah. Yeah. It was dangerous,
That
really.
was really bad. Wow,
Yeah,
I
that was
forgot
my
about that
least
one.
favorite. The bell one, I was like, oh, this is kind of
I think the problem with the bell one is that's a song that you don't hear a lot around the
mm.
holiday season. But every time you hear it, it sounds pretty good. I'm always like impressed that it's like, oh, this is just done with bells,
I think you only
which
hear it on those animatronic, like those toys that you press their leg
those
and they're like, da,
okay,
da,
all right.
da.
But what's crazy about this one is the whole time they're like bells, bells, get it, bells, bells, get it. And I was like, this sounds terrible. Like it sounds so bad. And I know I'm just watching it on some crappy, YouTube cut or whatever
Yeah.
to watch this, but it sounded the worst of any of this.
So you weren't happy with the sound quality of the bell
No,
song.
it was
But
awful.
did you enjoy? I liked seeing the little bells and the Quasimodo
They,
conductor
why
and the
quasi? These are jokes.
I
Kids
don't
don't
know why
understand.
Quasimodo. And I even the like when we I think it's Rex that's like, oh, I like that conductor guy. He looks familiar. I don't know. Did the dinosaurs and Quasimodo meet at some point? What was that?
Definitely. Mhm,
Okay.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At some point they did. So maybe we should talk about this in the most general terms.
Well, yeah, like we're doing right now. We really only have three
Yeah,
more songs to cover.
I was going to say we're just jumping around, we're just skipping around because it doesn't matter what order these are in
No.
or what's really happening. So it is hosted by two dinosaurs for some
Mm-hmm.
reason. The dumb one
Mm-hmm.
is dressed as Santa.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, while the other one sounds like Thurston from Gilligan's Island.
Very classy. Very classy.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
very classy. And a group of dogs comes by singing the song about waffling, but they're
Yes.
saying waffling. Why they're dogs with waffles doesn't make sense.
I think dogs are fun to maybe turn into little clay creatures.
Well, when we see the humans who are decorating
Oh,
that
the
tree, I was like,
humans are
what?
horrifying.
What are
I
these
was like,
monstrous
these
beings?
children look like they've been beaten and they were drunks before they became children. Like what? They have these dark circles under their eyes. They're
These
really
children look
creepy.
like they're about to die. Like this
Yeah.
is their last Christmas.
Yes. They're not healthy looking
It's
children at all.
horrible. So these dinosaurs are just there to introduce skits.
Yeah.
Like I, I, I don't know. Like it's a Sonny and Cher hour or something.
Yeah, it's like a
this is so ridiculous.
it's the
But
Christmas show, but you need a
yes,
host for your show. So the
right.
dinosaurs are our hosts. And
But
the
it's
big go
no.
ahead.
Go ahead. I no. I was just gonna say it's just a reason to show different. I was gonna say different types of animation, but other than the church and the stained glass, I think it's all claymation, right? all
Well,
of it.
yeah, and that Joy to the World thing that weird, right? Is it Joy to the World where they do the
Right, that's what I'm
chicken?
talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
church and
yeah, yeah. The
but
rest of it, yeah.
but also I'm wondering if that was really claymation. I mean, they do call this a claymation Christmas,
It
and
might have been.
I'm
I
not trying
don't
to hold their
know.
feet to the fire. If it is, it's the coolest bit of claymation in
Yeah,
this whole
I
thing.
agree. It's the coolest part of this whole thing. It's when I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I guess if you dropped acid at the beginning of
Yeah.
this, it may have started to kick in then, and you were like, uh-huh, I'm all
And
into
then
it
you
now.
just kept watching it in repeat for like,
Right, yeah.
made it a 60-minute long show. And you're like, I feel like the dinosaurs won in the end. I don't
Yeah,
know.
right, yes. And
Yeah.
then by the time you're so tripped out of your mind, you could probably watch that California Raisin skit and be like, who booked them and where were they playing? Where there's
Where
no
are they?
answer.
I've got to get their album collection. And by the time, if you're tripping, then you've got your full raisin outfit on
Yeah,
and
the
you're
raisin
like,
outfit on, and
I'm
you're like,
taking it to the
guys,
road.
you're not at the bus stop. It's down the street. I love how he just looks over and he's like, well, there goes the bus. It's the last
Yeah.
bus of the night.
They're not hustling out of there. They're not trying.
No.
They clearly just sang a gig. Where the crowds are, I don't know. But
They
yeah.
were just saying to just an empty. It's like Christmas Eve. Who's going out to see the California Raisins? Barbara
And they're
Streisand and the Jews, right?
yeah.
Is
That's
that it?
it.
Yentl's wrapping herself up.
She
She's like,
is.
I can't believe I bought tickets to the California Raisins. Some guys are going to try and get me to take a bath with them after this.
What? A raisin
No,
bath?
not the California Raisins. The other Jewish guys are all going to be bathing together.
Oh,
After
gotcha. I was like, why is Yentl taking a bath with the raisins? This is weird now.
Well, I hope people listen to our Yentl episode or our patrons, or else none of that made any sense.
Well, this is good advertisement for that then.
That's right.
Hey, we did a really fun Yentl episode, and that movie was much deeper than this.
A little deeper. A little
A
deeper.
little deeper.
Longer.
Still some more songs, but
yeah. At least with this, when we got to certain things, like I said, with the bells and stuff, I was like, there's 15 minutes left. I mean, it's not.
Yeah. What else? Same here. I was like, all right. Yeah. When we got to the ice skating walruses, I was like, well, we're almost done. Where's the raisins? Really? I was like, where's the raisins?
We start with the We Three Kings song. And it's just
it's Kings and Camels. Kings and Camels.
Kings and Camels. That's it. The camels, one has a bow tie on.
They're jazzy. The camels are very jazzy.
They have mustaches and
they have shoes. Yeah, they have shoes.
Wearing sneakers for some reason. And it's these three kings singing the song, but then like
it's like a lip sync battle because they sing it right.
They sing it in a very traditional sense.
Yes.
And then the camels have like a kind of a doo-wop style.
Yeah, like
they're doing. But it doesn't go any further than that. Again, they just sing the song back and forth, and at the end they kind of sing it together. And then the dinosaurs come back on, and the one's like, wasn't that wonderful? And I'm like, not really. That wasn't that great.
But think about this was like a variety show, or not even variety, because it's really just singing.
There's no
variety. But this was like, yeah. But this is like, it's the kind of shows that you would watch way back. If it's a holiday show, then you want to see the different acts singing or performing. And this happened to be all singing. And then you've got your hosts, right? And there's not even, I guess the only storyline is the Rex's whole obsession with that wassail and trying to figure out how you say it and what it means.
Yeah.
But there's no story that they're trying to tell. It's not even, I mean, a little bit he gives introductions to the songs.
No, there's no story here at all. Not at all. Like you said, there's the wassail, whatever, however you call it.
We don't even know. They said it like dozens of times.
They say it 100 times, but half the time it's waffles and waddling and wallowing. And I do like how when the dogs come with the waffles, and how the one guy's like, that's not how you say that. And the other dinosaur's like, well, if you're so fucking smart, what does it mean? And he has no idea. No. And they're looking in the dictionary later on. Yeah.
But then he gives us the full definition, which is health and joy or something.
I think that is kind of the definition.
Yeah.
Not that it matters. By that point, I'm checked out. I'm like, where are the raisins? Just wrap this up. So the next song is, go ahead.
No, that's what I was going to go into. The next song is
the bells.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the song is called? What's the name of this? Do you know?
Carol of the Bells.
Oh, did you like the voiceover of this? The person who has the charisma of
Oh
David
yeah.
Duchovny introducing them. I was like,
Well, it
is
was
that
like
is that
like a I was gonna say like a bowling match, but any kind of
it
like
really
sports
was
where it was
just
like,
like, oh,
hey,
here's some bells and
so the bells are out and they're getting ready to sing, and it should be a good song that
yeah.
they ring a ding to.
I know
Yeah.
that this is a playoff of, I guess, what you would hear someone do a voiceover on PBS if you were actually watching a choir
Oh,
or
right.
something like that. I'm sure it sounds like this, but it just reminded me of like the way they announce a golf match or something. I'm like, this is
Yes,
not
yes.
exciting. Like I said, it
Right.
sounds like David Duchovny took some time off of a Red Shoe Diaries episode to come over and like just do this voiceover real quick. And they're conducted by Quasimodo, like
That's very random to me.
super. I mean,
Oh, because the bell.
holy shit! Did you just
It did take me a minute with that. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, okay.
Well, because I was trying to find the correlation with Quasi and the dinosaurs, because the dinosaurs were like, we like
Oh,
that guy. And I was like, why
wow.
would they? So I didn't do
No,
the
I can see. I
relationship
like how you
between
think
Quasi and the
just
bell.
random monsters are just gonna keep showing up. I guess he's not technically a monster. He just has a hunchback. Oh, so in around this time, like, so there's one bell. He has
There's Silly
one.
Bell.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say he has one note to play. They all have one note to play, but they all play multiple times,
Yeah.
and he's just got his one note, constantly messing it up. Of course, for
Yeah.
some reason, he just takes his hammer and throws it behind him,
Yeah. Yeah.
seemingly on purpose, and
And
then
I
looks
like
at
when he tries to take the other guy's hammer
yeah,
and he's like, I lost mine.
right. Like you threw that on purpose. Like it didn't look like it flew out of your hand on accident.
You're the naughty bell. Every group has got that one kid that's like, I'm not gonna. You go to enough dance recitals where you see there's one kid that's like, I'm not
Yeah,
doing the moves. This was
yeah.
the one bell.
And I'm sure they chose this song because they're like, that dipshit only has one note to play at one
Yeah.
time. Like we have all these other songs we could do, but in this one, we only have to rely on him what
Yeah.
3 times to hit himself. And of
He
course, at
couldn't
the
come
end,
through.
Slingshots him,
Dings him with his slingshot
turns
that
around
was
to an
in his home.
audience. Yeah, turns around to
Yeah.
an audience that is not there.
None.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not like we see an audience. They're performing for a television series, I guess. As though this is a series. It's going to continue
Yeah.
on.
No, it's a one-time special. That's why it's a
Ugh.
special.
I enjoyed seeing commercial breaks. I know we don't actually see commercials.
We didn't see commercials. I was waiting for the commercial
Yeah.
breaks because I went for the actual commercials because we've seen there was a couple of things we've watched. I think Hug a Bunch might have been one of them where we actually got to see the commercials.
I'm sure it was Hug a Bunch and maybe the Webster.
Oh yeah, that Christmas special.
Yeah.
But that was a Christmas special with a storyline. A week.
I don't
And
remember what the storyline was.
wasn't it like
It's
they
Webster
Mr.
needs
T
to
tried to help Webster with his spirit
something
of
yes
Christmas?
it kind of was. It's like, oh, your parents are too wealthy and they don't have time for you on Christmas. What a damn shame. Let's go meet some homeless people and drag them into a room and sing.
Wait, I'm gonna change from my sweatpants to a suit. Part of this episode, part of this special, I'll be in just sweatpants because I'm Mr.
That
T.
was
Who
the
cares?
most fun part because he's like, I'm in a Santa outfit, which seems roomy and comfortable. Now I'm going to change into more roomy and comfortable sweats. Most of that was just Mr. T being like, it's sweats or I am off this
Yeah,
project.
look at all this jewelry. Look at this look. You think I need to dress it up? I don't. This is all the dress up you
I'm
need.
pretty fancy. And can I
Yeah.
wear this the whole time? And I assume he looked at that gold suit or whatever he was in at the end and was like, all right, I'll wear that. That's fine.
That, yeah, I'll wrap up with that one. Yeah.
But that's not what we're talking about because
No,
after our
let's
Christmas
bring it
break,
back.
we have to watch kids decorate a tree. Oh, so I'm sorry. Did I say kids? I meant nightmare creatures.
Yeah. They are very scary looking for
Super
claymated.
scary.
The dinosaurs are fun looking. The bells were goofy.
Yeah.
But
It's
these
almost like in Toy Story. Like Toy Story came out in '95, and that's when, Pixar was, I don't want to say new, but Pixar was just coming up and all this computer animation. And when you see the people in Toy Story, it's like, oh, that's why they're just doing toys. Like
they
that's
look
what, like,
sickly, yeah,
people
because
look
they
smooth and weird, and
yes,
that's kind of like claymation doesn't work for human beings.
no.
Dinosaurs, toys, bells, sure.
Yeah, love it. Animals of all kinds, foods,
Hippos, maybe
raisins.
walruses,
Yeah.
raisins, definitely. Those
Yeah.
wrinkles make sense.
Yeah.
The
Because you gotta
handprints,
need all that.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, but this what was this song? Oh, Christmas
Oh,
tree,
Christmas
right?
tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they decorate the tree. We get to see Santa and Mrs. Claus. And
Right.
this was the one I did remember, like I said, from my childhood, because I remember looking at my little ornaments on my tree different.
Right.
I think my mom had a little gingerbread house one, and I was like, oh yeah, what is in that gingerbread house, you know?
Maybe when we go to sleep at night, they all come to life.
Yeah,
Right. Because this
yeah.
is really I talked about how, like, later the acid might kick in. This is when you're waiting for the acid to kick in. So
Yeah,
you're
and
just
you're
smoking
like,
a joint and you're
oh
like,
yeah.
wait a minute. What if our whole world is just like an ornament on a gingerbread family's tree? Because that's all this is. You just go into an ornament. It's something like gingerbread people decorating a tree. Then you
Yes.
go into their ornament and something else, and so on and so forth.
Yes, yes. And you get, and again, it's just, we're just to finish, just to get through the song,
Yeah.
just to get through the song. There's no even pre where the kids are like, oh, I wonder if Christmas will happen this year. Where are their parents to decorate their tree with? Or,
Oh,
oh,
you know what? That's a good point, because other than the dinosaurs
mm-hmm,
and the California raisins before their song, there's no talking.
mm-mm. No, it
They're
just
just
goes right into
playing
song.
music and
Well,
claymating
and
to
the
it.
bell thing, like we said, the David Duchovny bell
Oh, yeah,
introduction. But
right.
yeah, it's just the dinosaurs going, here's the song, and we three kings and the camels hit it.
Yep. And that's
Yeah,
it. And then,
yeah,
so after this, we get to what you think is the worst one.
yeah. This for me did not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is a close second to the bells, because
yeah.
it's like interpretive ice dancing, and
From
for
a
the life of
walrus?
me, I could not tell you what the song is. I don't remember what they were
Um,
playing.
Angels we've heard on high.
Do
Yeah,
do 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 do. Wait, is that the
yeah.
song? Oh, it is.
I think
Sounds
so.
like a terrible song to ice
To ice
skate
skate
to.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what they did.
All
And
right.
again, they could have done something fun with the penguins and had the because penguins are these little stackable,
Right.
like not like raisins, but they're little and
And
but
there's no environments to this either. Like
no,
the bells were in. I understand they're in a clock tower or a bell tower rather,
yeah,
and there's just darkness around them. In here, it's just nothing as far as the eye
mm-mm,
can see,
mm-mm.
and then sort of like a sunsetty type painted background.
Yeah,
And they're on ice, and there's snow. It's so visually unappealing, which maybe that's why Joy to the World is next. But it's so boring, and it's just a sad male walrus finds love while he dances around and penguins watch. Right? I mean, is that what you would say?
I mean, that's the story that we're getting. That's the joy in this world. Oh no, that's before joy in the world. Sorry, those are the angels that
Yeah.
are, yeah, the
Yeah.
angel of the, uh, yeah,
The penguins try and murder them at the end. They fall through the ice, and
yeah.
the penguins have a giant snowball, and they plug up the hole, but it doesn't work, and they break out, and they, I don't know, kill the penguins. I don't know what happens at the end of this.
I
It's
literally was a little snoozy at this point.
snoozy.
Yeah.
This is 25 minutes. It's probably not even, it's like 22.
I was all,
And you watched it this morning.
yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, Lynn, you know what? I'm not going to judge you because I get it.
Yeah,
Totally get it.
yeah. It's a lot of effort.
This is our second commercial break, and this is where we've already had waffling and waddling, and this is where
Yes,
pigs come up wallowing in piles of fruit.
yes. And each time our little friend Herb likes to eat the food or is into the
Right.
and
He loves the waffles and
yes,
whatever the ducks brought. Don't know what that was.
they had trays of some kind of food, right? Weren't they carrying
Oh, I
it?
thought they had like baskets of
Baskets,
flowers,
yeah,
but I don't.
baskets.
Okay, so some other kind of food.
Yeah. And Rex is annoyed. He's just not, he's really trying to
Right.
take this hosting gig seriously.
Yeah,
And
he's like,
it's
"You're
not.
blowing it, dude. I don't know. We got this gig." And he's clearly a T-Rex. I don't know what the other thing is. He's
I
got like
want to say
87 horns sticking out of.
Stegosaurus. Is it a Stegosaurus?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
No, but
If we travel back in time, we could talk to my 10-year-old self who knew a lot about dinosaurs.
did you? Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
did.
like most kids.
Yeah,
Whether
let's
dinosaurs or space, that's it.
and see, that's why this as a child, maybe you were like, oh my gosh, these
Yeah.
like you said that you had as soon as it came on, you're like, I remembered this.
Hmm.
Did you remember it fondly, or you remembered it like, oh yeah, I didn't like this then either,
I, I
or
don't
just
know why. I
neutral?
don't know why. I just
Yeah,
knew it. I don't know why I watched it as a kid, but
probably because it was on after
it
Garfield,
was
and
on after
probably
Garfield.
for the raisins, probably for the raisins.
And I think, to be perfectly honest,
Hmm.
the ice skating, it was the only thing I did not remember.
Oh,
That was the only
wow.
segment that I didn't
So as a
remember.
kid, you probably thought that was the weakest one,
I guess I did.
not the bells.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
This is a
remembering
horrible
now,
thing that I blotted from my mind or tried to. That was the only part that I could not recall.
and you shouldn't have. I'm
Yeah.
remembering now, just now, because when did My Girl come out? That movie, My Girl, with Macaulay Culkin?
91
90.
or 2.
I think that my kid brain thought that the song My Girl was sung by the California Raisins, which they probably did cover
Oh.
it. But I think in watching My Girl, I was like, oh, and those raisins probably sang
I
that
was waiting
song.
for you to try and tie Dice Clay into my girl.
Oh, I gotta find that. I'm gonna find
Hey,
whatever
that
that
kid's
is.
dead. Oh.
Bee sting, yow.
Did I ever tell you that once? Um, this is what patrons really want to hear.
Yeah.
One time in college, Bill Scudda got a tape, like a cassette tape, I guess, down at Young Ones, and it was a
Mm-hmm.
Dice stand-up special.
Oh.
So he and I listened to it, and it was amazing because it's terrible. None of the jokes work, and there's no laughs. Like there's no. He's
Oh.
performing this live in a club or something. You hear one person laugh that I'm assuming is his agent, and
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
remember much, but there was one joke about Siskel and Ebert where he's like, Siskel and Ebert. I don't know who's who. I just call him the fat pig and the bald fuck. And he goes, and then it just translates, it just goes into this story about him being like, I was with the bald fuck in an elevator once. I said, hey, bald fuck. And I smashed his head into the elevator buttons. I was like, this is not funny. And nobody's laughing.
No.
That guy, like his career, I don't
He was
understand. Why
in
was he so
something
big?
recently. I feel like he was in something recently, like maybe it was like the Gotti movie. They made like the John Gotti movie
That sounds about right.
with John Travolta played John Gotti. I feel like maybe Clay was in that.
Wow.
There was something he was in recently where it's like, of course, he's just old and looks different, but you hear
Yeah.
his voice and you see him and you're
Oh,
like, is that Dice Clay?
I remember a movie, it must have just made the rounds on HBO all the time. It was called Brain Smasher, a love story. And it was
Mm-hmm.
with he and Terry Hatcher. And it was like this one brief moment in time where their stars were moving in very different directions. He was going way down, and this was like right before Lois and Clark.
Oh,
And
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
so for like one brief moment, these two were in a movie together, and it was on HBO constantly.
Because they were like, we got to, well, I don't know. I think maybe because it was the Macho Man, the New York Macho Man, like there was a time for that in the
Mm-hmm.
80s that was like the thing.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't
yeah,
remember him being extremely very foul mouth, but not
sure,
necessarily funny,
yeah.
aggressive, which for a time again, that was his type
But
of
I think
humor
that's a
was
lot of
funny.
comedians. I think that's a lot
Yeah.
of stand-ups where if you can
Yeah.
get that like 5 year window where you can do all of it and you can make all your money and you can
Mm,
do all your TV appearances and you can be on Saturday Night Live, like if you could do that, that's great. Very,
yeah.
such a small percentage that can go beyond that time. Like musicians, really.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
popular musicians. That's it. All right. Well, that was a
None of this to
digression.
do with Claymation Christmas.
No,
None of
no,
this.
this is the claymation Christmas I wanted to see. It's like I can't wait for me to break out my Ronald Reagan impression, and I can't do it because he's
No,
not in
there's
this.
no Ronnie Reagan in this at all. Not even in the finale when the whole town gets together. You don't see Ronnie waving.
I still sometimes think about when I did that during DC Cab, and you're like, don't do that again. I don't want to hear that ever again. All right. Were you thinking about the Genesis video with those puppet things?
um,
Maybe.
look at my maybe. Yeah, but it wasn't just a video. I feel like it was an
All right.
actual show.
Okay.
But yes, I think they were more like those puppet things.
All right. Well, then, you know what? We'll have to
Maybe it was just the
find this.
video. I don't know. I don't know, but it wasn't
Wait,
this.
was Phil Collins in this special you're thinking of?
I mean, maybe because there were songs. I don't
All
know.
right, okay.
I don't know what it's morphing
You know what? If
into.
it exists in the 80s, we'll get to it
We're gonna
eventually.
cover it at some point,
Yeah.
yeah. Even if we just cover music videos from the 80s, maybe another little something for our patrons.
Pretty much
Patrons.
Beavis and Butthead then. That's what this turns into.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about Joy to the World, which is the next one.
So fun.
The one leading up to the big California Raisins hit.
Mm-hmm.
So we sort of see a claymation. Should we even call these buildings claymations? I was about to say a claymation church, but I think it's just made of wood. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
so we're in a church, and it kind of
Mhm.
like zooms in on the
To the
stained glass
uh-huh.
window,
Uh-huh.
and then it's just a morphing of this window into various
Faces and images and
yes,
parent, mother, child images and
right. It's very religious.
no, sure,
Lots of
George.
religious. Right, it's a religious song.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more to be said other than like it's kind of the coolest
Yes.
artsy stuff that's happening in this.
Yes. It's like a kaleidoscope the way sometimes it like weaves into one image to another.
Right.
And like you said, they slow down sort of the lyrics for a little while just to kind of finish their imagery off. But
Takes
visually
a long time for
it's
stuff
fun.
to transform. Yeah.
Yes.
Usually it is
Yes.
fun, and it really is just being like, you know those stupid walruses? You thought that's all we could do with claymation?
Yeah, yeah.
Check
Watch
this out.
this.
Like, we're gonna blow your mind. And the song is again "Joy to the World," but it's a more updated version
Mm-hmm.
where they have to say we're talking about joys like a billion times at the end. I think they repeated it 45 times at the end of the song just to show like swirly colors.
Just to give you more and
Yeah.
more and more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no, but it was nice.
I'd say that's
yeah.
probably the other than the California Raisins, because I like the way the California Raisins look, because at least they're building streets and buildings and on moon.
They have a sleigh. Yeah.
They have a sleigh. They're wearing different outfits. At least just
They
hats.
too with the sneakers. I love all these characters that get to wear sneakers.
Yeah. You don't want to see a raisin's feet. I
I
think that's important.
suppose not.
I think we gotta cover those things up. So that is what we end with.
Yes.
Is the California Raisins.
We
What
get
is it?
some other.
Rudolph Red-Nosed Reindeer?
What's the next wassailing? I don't remember. I just
Well,
wrote
I think
back
I
to
went
the.
through all the wassels because
Okay.
at the very end, that's when leprechauns show up.
Oh yeah, and they give the true. I guess they're the original wassailers, waysailers.
I don't know. It's not like they talk about the Irish. The Irish came up with
No,
this.
but maybe it's to make it all cultures. I don't know that. I don't
All
know.
wait, all cultures,
I don't know.
dogs, ducks, pigs, and the Irish. If anything, I feel horrible for the Irish. Oh, and raisins and dinosaurs.
And walruses.
And walruses and penguins.
See?
And the Irish.
All cultures with the Irish.
The thing that's terrible about this, and we talked about how there's no speaking other than the dinosaurs. Were you put off by the voices of these California Raisins? The audio sounds like it's recorded in a YMCA bathroom. Like it's so echoey.
I think it was the whole sound quality of the video I watched wasn't perfect. So
Well, if you watch the video, I said you would watch the same one.
yeah. So I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, but they missed their bus after the big gig.
Which we don't get to see any of that, even to see the end where they're like, yeah, and they go exit stage and then they miss the bus maybe, but we don't get to know
Apparently
what.
it's great, but as you said, we don't see anyone. It's not like they're being mobbed by fans for autographs.
No.
this.
It's lonely Christmas Eve night after the
Yeah.
gig. And they
They
miss
missed
the
their
bus, but they're not even chasing it or
They miss
anything.
it
They're
by
like,
a mile.
there it goes, the last bus.
The one guy very casually is like, well, there goes the final bus of the entire evening. I guess we'll just freeze to death.
We're just raisins. We got this thick skin, I guess, keep us warm. They're fun, friendly raisins with each other, right? They're kind of jiving with each other. You said their voices were off. I didn't notice that as much. I just saw that they were like,
whatever.
hey, what you doing over there?
Yeah,
Little
they're
Jack or Ray.
Jack?
I don't know. I don't remember any
you
of
know
their
what?
names.
Ray might be closer. We're
Okay.
going to if we're gonna Ray Charles these raisins or stereotype them in some way, I think Ray's closer than
Right.
Jack.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So they sing about Rudolph because they're like, hey, you know what? There's another sleigh just right around the corner. It's totally cool.
Yeah.
And they sing about Rudolph. They twist the one's nose and it turns red.
It
And
does.
one guy basically enslaves the rest of his raisin brethren
Yeah.
and
Ties them up.
ties them
And
up.
they have, what is it that they make their sleigh out of?
That sleigh
It's
shows up
like
from nowhere. It's like they
I
stole it from a department store setup. I don't know where it came from. Very
stole it
angry
from a
about this.
department, so I can see
I'm very
that.
upset about this special.
Where's the sleigh? What are these thief raisins doing? Um, yeah, they hodgepodge a sleigh together, they tie themselves up together, and they are the that's how they're going to travel now.
They
They're the
fly away.
flying
They fly.
raisins.
These
They're the
raisins
singing flying California raisins.
But it's the great green screen type of flying where all their
Mhm.
feet are clearly flat on a flat surface, but they're flying past the moon. But they're not even flying, they're just like chugga chugga choo
Yeah,
choo
yeah, yeah.
in the air.
Because they got soul. They don't really have to fly. They just got a groove, right?
You're exactly
Yeah.
right. Yes.
Hmm. Hmm.
And now some leprechauns show up and tell us that it's wassailing.
They give us the real diff and they help us wassel.
These
And
leprechauns are smashed. They are just
yeah, they're
drunken
hammered.
Irish.
Yeah.
Just, the
And they
Irish show
get
up and are like, this is the meaning of Christmas.
right.
Let's get hammered and eat waffles.
And then Herb gets drunk and all of a sudden he's busted out of his suit.
He's enormous. He's like a
Yeah.
giant Jabba the Hutt now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And Rex.
we go to another commercial break for no reason because we come back.
We just want to
and it's
wrap it
just-
up when we come
right.
back. Yeah.
All the characters are then together. Everyone from all the skits that we just saw. There's some bells running around and all that.
Yep.
And that's it. That's how it ends. And
That's
this
our
is
Claymation
straight
Christmas.
garbage. I hated it.
Oh, I will say that I think maybe if you're a little kid and you're, like I feel like this time of year you're always running out of things to show your kids,
Mhm.
Christmas wise on TV. I don't know, do we put on this Christmas special, that there's so many of them on Netflix and Amazon, but this is a quick, I don't know. It wasn't anything that I would say you got to make sure your kids sit
Right,
down and
right,
watch
yes,
this.
yeah.
But if you're looking for a
Yeah.
20-minute, I don't know, kids, parents are always putting their
Mhm.
kids in front of little devices and you want them to watch something. Here, check this out. I watched this as a kid. Maybe.
I watched this as a kid. This
Yeah.
is why I'm like I am.
Yeah. You wonder? This
Yeah.
is why. Because
This
I'm
makes a
sitting
lot of
there
sense
staring
now.
off at Christmas ornaments going, I wonder what's happening in there.
There is, and I know we don't recommend things on our Patreon episodes usually, but if people are looking for things to show their kids or even just watch themselves,
Yeah.
on Disney Plus, there's a movie. It's called Noel, and
Oh, is it
it's
nice?
it's basically like it's kind of just like Elf, close to Elf,
Oh.
but it's with Anna Kendrick and Bill
Oh.
Hader, and
Fun.
Bill Hader like inherits. He's like Santa Claus's son, and Santa dies, so he takes on. There's been so many Santas and everything like that. So he's supposed to be Santa, but he's an incompetent moron who does not want to do it. And Anna Kendrick, his sister, it's kind of fun because she's like, hey, why don't you just go away for a little while, take a break, get your shit together, go on vacation. And he goes and like gets really into yoga and stuff, and it's like, I'm not going back. This is what I want to do. I just want to teach yoga classes in San Diego or Arizona or something like that. And then she has to go find him. It's very cute. And
It
my
sounds
kids loved it.
cute.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
It's
gonna
really
check
good.
it out. We were
It's
just
kinda
looking
fun.
for a fun Christmas. We watched our fun Christmas movie was there was I don't remember what it was called, but it was a Seth Rogen movie. Seth Rogen did a Christmas movie. And it was kind of funny and
Oh, okay.
wild. Yeah, it
Oh,
was
all right.
goofy. It's not, I don't recommend you watch it with your kids, but
Okay.
and at first I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like it, but it was funny. It was fun.
Is it called A Marijuana Christmas?
No,
'Cause
but it's
that's what I
close.
would
He's
call it.
yeah, it's
Okay,
all
all
about
right.
they have this tradition. I forget the other two actors in it, but he's got this tradition with his friends where they do this Christmas ended thing together, these
Mhm.
three friends, because the one friend's parents died, and they basically just get really, really shit faced or definitely
Okay.
Seth does. Seth's wife, they're about to have a kid. So Seth's wife gives him a box of just all these different drugs to do. And it's like, since we're about to have kids and life's going to be different.
Everyone's wife does when they're about to have kids.
Yeah.
I did this 3 times. It was amazing. Here's last time it was just like, here's a box of drugs. Go into the basement. I'll see you tomorrow. All right.
Yeah, it was very like, she's a very understanding. Yeah, very. I mean, it's clearly not real life. But it was funny. It was really funny. It was over 2 hours long. And at first I was like, well, how am I going to do this? But Seth is just really funny in it. And
some of those, like, this wasn't an Apatow joint, right?
No.
Boy, some of those, like, I'm so amazed how long those movies are.
And you kind of get it. You're like, wait, there's a whole half hour of this. That Staten Island King one.
I didn't even watch that. No.
We didn't finish it. I was like, I just see where it's going.
It's a lot of stuff like that. Like
people do love it. And
people love.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where at about an hour and a half, I'm like, I'm kind of done here. I've enjoyed what I've seen. Can we just, and I'll look and I'll be like, 45 minutes left.
Yeah.
What
more
this?
Could we do? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, anyway. I hope you've enjoyed patrons. I was talking about Andrew Dice Clay way too much and our problems with Judd Apatow.
And wait, how long are we on this for? Because what we're reviewing is 24 minutes.
Now that we record on Zoom, I have
it's not keeping any time. I didn't see.
I have no idea what time.
Well, hey, I could look at the real clock and know we started a little after. We've been going over an hour.
Yeah, over an hour on this 24-minute.
We digress.
Everybody, patrons, first of all, thank you for being patrons. We really always appreciate it.
Yes. And this is a new platform for you patrons that we're doing. This whole.
Yes, we will do this every Patreon episode. You guys will have this video link. I'll put up both the video and just the audio if it's something you listen to on your phone during your commute. I don't want you to watch YouTube.
Dangerous.
On your commute. But this will always be there if you want to check it out. And that leads into next time you will hear from us. No Patreon episode in January, but February 1st. That is when we do our Razzies Patreon episode. And I chose a movie that I thought about choosing as a birthday episode for me several times. Kept pushing it off because I really got into singing and dancing movies.
You did. You like yourself a good musical number.
So we're going to watch Howard the Duck.
Finally.
I'm assuming several Razzies. I don't know how many this movie possibly won.
Long time coming for this podcast. Yes. Let's be real. Yeah.
So that's what we'll be talking about next time we do one of these Patreon episodes on February 1st, Howard the Duck. So check it out. And until then, thank you again, and we'll talk to you later.
And happy holidays.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Happy holidays. We'll talk to you on a regular episode where we talk about Santa Claus the movie next time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. Andrew Dice Clay's in that one? I don't know.
Yep. Ronald Reagan makes a cameo as Santa Claus. Can't wait to do that impression. Ronald Reagan as Santa.
Deserted out here.
I will have to stop this before
excellent gig, guys.
Uh-oh. There goes the last bus.
So call me a cab.
Hey, man, you're a cab.
No sweat, it's Christmas Eve. Next reindeer's due any minute.
Oh, man. Come on now.
You know, there's Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen.